This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
This hour sponsored by Better. Better Picks, a daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download Better or visit better.app now. Sign up today, get free money, and no deposit necessary. BETR, better.app.
We'll start this hour getting a ton of bets this weekend in the National Football League as we head on now to the Progressive Guest Line as VSiN host Mike Somich joins the program, and podcast as well drops twice a week called Sharp Money, Mondays and Thursdays, wherever you get your podcast. Mike, good afternoon. We appreciate the time as always. Let's begin here. We just talked about the weather situation, or now a lack thereof, in Chicago between the Bears and the Giants. No more rain, no more snow the way it looks. Sustained winds about 15 miles an hour, gust 25 to 30 or so, maybe throughout the entire game. So what is the bet to be made in your opinion here?
I think there was an overreaction to this weather forecast. We saw this total open at 48.5. I liked the over at 48.5, but I was kind of hoping we'd see a drop because of the weather. It hit 48, then we went to 47. Now we're sitting at 46.5, and all of a sudden it does not seem like the weather going to be as big of an issue as a lot of people believed when they started hammering the under. I like the over quite a bit here. This is a Bears offense that should be able to run the football for 5-10 yards a clip against a very bad Giants rush defense. They should also be able to pass the ball off play action. It's a Bears team that's gotten off to hot starts in games. That helps perpetuate an over. If you have one team that's able to score early, it forces the other to start pushing the ball, pushing the pedal to the metal, if you will. And you flip it around. And this Giants team, for everything that's been going on the defensive side and everything that's going on in an injury perspective, they've consistently been able to put the ball in the end zone when Jackson Dart's been out there. This isn't exactly a vaunted Chicago Bears defense. We're not staring at the 85 Bears out there. I think the Giants are going to be able to get theirs. I wouldn't be shocked if we have the Bears be able to get an early lead, and then the Giants are just kind of playing from behind and trying to put points on the board. And the Bears are running the football, but they're running the football with success, and that can push it to and over as well. I thought this total, if we had like perfect weather, should be like low 50s. And here we are sitting at a 46.5 because of the weather issues, a number that's been bet down. I'm willing to go the other way. I like the over 46.5 quite a bit here, Giants Bears.
All right. I'm with you on this one. We talked about the Germany game earlier. Colts bounce back against Atlanta. You bring in Sauce. You put them on London. I should be able to contain the rushing attack, and I should be able to move the ball against Atlanta. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a great spot for the Colts. Coming off a 6-turnover game, they're going to be ultra-focused here. And then you add the fact that the front office basically went out and said, our window is open. We believe in this team. We believe in Daniel Jones. We're going to go out and pay 2 first-round picks to improve the biggest weak spot on our defense, which is at that cornerback position. And we're going to go out and get the biggest chip that was available at the deadline. All of that pushes you to believe you're going to get a top-tier Colts performance here, one of their better games of the season. They've also had the propensity to just blow people out, which I love to see when I'm laying close to a full touchdown here. On the other side, you've got a Jekyll and Hyde Atlanta Falcons team where you've seen some very good games, but you've seen some atrocious games as well. I'm not a fan of this coaching staff. When you're going overseas, that absolutely matters. We have a huge coaching staff advantage here on the Colts side versus the Falcons side. And then you just dive into the offensive line here for the Falcons. They've got one doubtful offensive lineman, another that is questionable. They're already missing their right tackle, which is the blindside tackle for a left-handed quarterback. And they were hoping to get Storm Norton off IR. He's not going to be returning either. So we have a trenches advantage here for the Colts. We've got a coaching advantage for the Colts. We've got the pissed off factors, a 10 here for the Colts. I think this is a great spot here to play Indianapolis to win by margin. I took them laying the 6.5, and I played some alt numbers up to 16.5 on the Colts.
Wow, damn. Great analysis there. And by the way, I love where your head's at because it typically feels like you join us every single Friday at this time, and it seems like you've had like an under somehow involving the Texans or their games the entire year. You're going to go at it again, right? You think Jacksonville under their team total is a good bet?
I do. Look, this Texans team, and I said it at the start of the season, they are a generational under team because this offensive line is absolutely putrid and the defense is the best in the NFL. Both of those things are very much true. But in this case, I don't want to go for the game under here because I am worried that the Texans turn the Jags over too much and push this total over. So let me focus just on the team total here. I talked about this last week as well as we were on the Texans opponent team total. When you see these lines move and you end up with a favorite in the Jacksonville Jaguars or laying 1.5 over on DraftKings, the team total floats up. And that's how I want to try and attack this here. You can get under 19.5 team total on Jacksonville. That's minus 104 right now. If you want to play under 20.5 and capture that key number of 20, it brings the juice up to minus 140. I think 19.5 is fine. I think this is a Jacksonville team that has issues specifically at the wide receiver position, was not able to run the ball against the Texans last time they faced, and has some offensive line issues heading in here as well, is going to have a very long day at the office against this Texans defense. So I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars team total under 19.5 here.
All right, we mentioned this before you came on. Seattle 8-0 straight up, 7-1 ATS run against Arizona. How do you want to? Why the unique way you want to play this one?
Yeah, I played the first half here. And don't get me wrong, I like the game as well. 6.5 if you can get it. The 7, I still would lean the Seahawks, but I would find creative ways to play alts if I want to go down that road. I laid 3.5 in the first half, though, with the Seattle team that has been one of the best in the NFL getting out of the starting gate here. They have been a phenomenal first quarter, first half team, and they're taking on a Cardinals team that just has not been that same style. You also have a Seahawks defense that has owned the Cardinals in the last few matchups when they're trying to play their regular offense, when they're not playing from behind. I want to try and capture the time where we're still seeing the Cardinals in their regular sets, when they're not running around with their hair on fire, trying to throw the ball every single down. I like that specific version of this Cardinals offense against the Seahawks defense. I think it's big advantage toward the Hawks there. And I love the Seahawks offense now. The Rashid Shaheed addition at the trade deadline, I thought was possibly the most impactful, even more than Sauce Gardner, because of what he can bring to this offense. I love him this week. You can get his receiving yards over at 39.5. I laddered him up to 70, where you can find him at plus, I believe it's 350 there at 70 plus yards. This is a people have to remember, Kubiak had Shaheed last year in that Saints offense. And in week 1 and week 2, when the Saints were the greatest show on turf, we saw Shaheed getting multiple deep shots and really being set up on the outside opposite of Chris Olave. Well, guess what? You have a better version of Olave now in JSN. You have a better quarterback in Sam Darnold. And Shaheed understands the offense, understands the scheme exceptionally well here. He was in this scheme last year. I think he hits the ground running. I think this number is too low because of that. I think that really pushes the Seahawks to be able to score at will on the offensive side, specifically in the first half when they are running their standard offense before they are essentially trying to slow the game down and get to the finish line here. So I like the first half because I like the standard set of the offense versus the defense. I think it's advantage Seahawks on both sides of the ball. And I love Shaheed props. I think he is going to have an opportunity to get 1 or 2 long touchdowns here or 1 or 2 long passes. That I need one pass, and I can get into the alts with Shaheed. That's one of the reasons I love playing guys like him when I'm looking at alts.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, in the first hour, I talked about a couple of bets that I like in this Patriots-Buccaneers game. Do you think this is going to turn into an aerial circus here because of the defenses and how good they are against the opposing team's ground game?
Yeah, I do, and that's really why I'm looking at this game the way I am. When you look at how both of these teams stop the run, you've got a top 5 run stop unit in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You've got a Patriots team that's been talked about. They've given up 50 yards or less in every single one of the games. They've yet to give a 50-yard rusher up this season. And then you look at what we got in the backfield. Okay, Travion Henderson, he hasn't really popped like everyone was hoping when there was all the fantasy buzz in the preseason. He is going to be your lead back for New England. You flip over and you look at the Bucs side. It sounds like we're not going to get Bucky Irving back despite the bye. If that's the fact, you've got Rashad White or Tucker that are going to be back there. Neither of them I'm worried about explosive plays. And that means it is all on the 2 arms of Baker Mayfield and Drake May in this spot. Both these defenses essentially turn into pass funnels because you can't run the football against them. And both of these quarterbacks do not mind stretching the field. They'll take big shots downfield. We've seen Drake May have one of the highest EPAs on deep throws so far in the NFL season. And we know that Baker doesn't mind stretching it as well to his wide receivers. This feels like a great spot to look to the over 250 on both of these quarterbacks. So I played both of their passing yards over. They're right in that 245, 246 range for both of them. But if you go over on DraftKings, you can get 250 plus on both Baker and Drake May. If you put them together, you're getting plus 250. I like that quite a bit, as well as betting each individually, because I do think both these defenses just force the pass. In this case, and I think both these quarterbacks are able to take advantage of that.
90 seconds left. Why do you like Sunday night under?
This is one where it feels like people are just kind of buying into the Pittsburgh defensive resurgence. And I don't fully buy in, but I tend to agree against this offensive line that's an absolute mess now that Joe Alt's going to be out for the year. We saw them move out and get a tackle and the Chargers at the trade deadline. Just doesn't feel like this is a Chargers team that is going to be able to consistently move the football against the Steelers. But Herbert protects the football very well, so I don't think you see the turnover fest here from the Chargers that we saw from the Colts last week. You flip it over to the Steelers side, Aaron Rodgers is the slowest quarterback in the NFL. He loves using all the play clock all the time. It's not an explosive offense, especially if you can take DK Metcalf out of the game. And this is a Chargers defense that keeps everything in front of them. They're going to force you to gain 3 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards. If you want to move down the field, that means long drives for the Steelers. I think both of these defenses rule the day. I'll take the under 45.5 here on Sunday Night Football, Steelers and Chargers.
Awesome spot as always, Mike. Thanks so much for the time. Love talking to you. Best of luck this weekend.
You got it, guys. Have a good weekend.
There you go, Mike Somich. He does a podcast twice a week, Monday and Thursday, with Patrick Maher. It's called Sharp Money. And then over the weekend as well, Saturday and Sundays, he hosts Ready, Set, Bet and the Contest Show, which we're going to be watching tomorrow night as always, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Got to find out where all these entries are. They're on for Circus Survivor and also the Grandissimo, the big boy, the $100,000 contest.
I was very surprised at the other contest in town down the street at the Westgate, and they tweeted out. They don't wait. The $5,000 contest, 16 people are left. 3 had Denver available? Or 4?
3 or 4.
Well, only one person used them.
Yeah. So what does that tell you about this week? I think we're looking at several. By the way, that's been a contest. I still have one over there at the Westgate. That's been a contest where it's been heavy on one team, like going back the last, I don't know, feels like 3 or 4 weeks at least.
Yeah.
That tells me this week it's going to be spread out. Are we talking about Carolina, Chicago, along with maybe Seattle, Buffalo, if they're remaining? Creative props of the week coming up for the rest of the season. It's 6-1 for this record to fall before the end of the year.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
A lot of games still to get into this weekend. National Football League for week number 10. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Also, Nigel Seeley coming up this hour, his best bets in the soccer world. How about some creative props here? I love it when books get like this. Globally speaking, DraftKings will come up with stuff. Caesars will, FanDuel does. But the longest field goal made between now and the end of the regular season, so weeks 10 through 18, over under 66.5. Do we get another one that touches what Cam Little did out here in Las Vegas? I say no. I'd go under 66.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've had 6 from 60. So
That's a little scary.
I would say yes. And it can happen again. And who knows, maybe it happens Sunday with Cam Little.
I think going to have to be in a dome, which is fine. We have plenty of those across the country. But as weather now starts to maybe interfere a little bit with these games, then you're going to wipe out maybe a lot of the stadiums across the country anyway.
I really like that prop, Jacksonville, to have the longest made field goal Sunday. You're just bringing in Matthew right now, short notice, his third team this year.
Okay, yeah.
And you got Little, who hit from 68.
Well,
and
first,
it could be a field goal game and low scoring anyways.
First of all, let's be honest. Baron, that is just like, that's unfair for him to go down. Have we bet him every week so far?
Yeah.
Warren Sharp came on the tailgate show.
I think it was week
Sunday.
1. Yeah.
He's like, hey guys, he's like 14-2 or whatever, was over 1-8. We're like, what? Really? And Caesars was offering by far the best number in the world on him like every single week, and it was automatic with the guy. Maybe he's missed it maybe once this year.
Yeah, it was against Jacksonville.
Okay.
He missed from 50, and he only made 1.
All right, will the field goal record of 68 yards be broken this regular season? Yes, 6-1. No is minus $15. So somebody has to touch 69 yards.
I wouldn't feel comfortable, there's no way I want to know there and lay that. You also have the Aubrey factor. He tried it. He had the length. He pushed it to the left.
How far was that going to be?
I thought it was 72, 74, it looked like. Looked like it had plenty of leg. I don't remember if it hit the net, but it was. He certainly doesn't even get a big start. That's the thing. It's hilarious watching him kick. It's like, oh, okay, no problem, 68.
Again, I'm still not over the game against Denver a couple weeks back.
Yeah, Dak blew it.
God, that sucks.
Will the Bengals break the points allowed record of 534? Yes is only 2-1. The record was set by Carolina last year. The Bengals are on pace to allow 567 points. I'd say yes. You still got, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. You haven't played Baltimore yet.
No, that's right.
I mean, they can't stop anything. And even what Caleb Williams was able to do against them.
It is one of the worst defenses you're ever going to watch just because of the tackling, and they're so far out of position. And
the Jets game, all of it. Yep.
It's beyond brutal. How about tush pushes for the Eagles on Monday night against the Packers? I like that books are offering this. Hopefully it'll become stateside. It's 1.5. Remember, Green Bay's the team that wanted to outlaw the tush push.
Yeah, LaFleur, it is what it is. Okay, thanks. Why is it 1.5? He could do that on one possession.
I would absolutely only look at betting over here.
Yeah,
because
let's do it out of spite.
Sure, they could get the ball first and goal at the 3-yard line and do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
By the way, money on the Eagles, as I anticipated, grab them plus 116 to win the game. They're down to a 1-point dog now. I think it goes off pick, or Eagles might actually go off as the favorite here. Now I think we have a new team in the league that's most overrated. That would be Denver, maybe not Green Bay anymore. The Denver defense is awesome. Mm-hmm. They are legitimately fantastic. The offense is, oh boy, yikes. What else caught your eye in terms of kicker props this weekend and anything that stands out?
Well, so the Sunday night game, I'm all about it. Over 3.5 made field goals in the game. Boswell over 1.5. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. It's $1.40 down the street with two of the best kickers to do it, and it doesn't matter what distance. With both coaches, they'll trot them out from anywhere. Got that one.
By the way, Little is 1.5 over minus 115 for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Against that Houston defense, Mike Somich coming on, making the case for the team total under there.
Yep.
And in that game that you just talked about, by the way, I'm looking at DraftKings. Dicker the kicker is minus 178 to go over 1.5.
It's way too high. He's had some losers.
Sure.
I've been giving that out in the article every week. He'll have one early, and then that's it. Because the Chargers are a lot like the Cowboys, where the offense is too good at times. And they're playing catch up, so they pass on the field goals, or they're doing damage in the red zone, and you look up, it's like, how did I lose that bet? So that's just too high with the juice.
And I'm seeing Boswell minus 155, minus 160 in that range. I'm with you. Think $1.40. You bet $1.20. You found that both kickers to make a 33-yarder. $1.40 still worth it? You think?
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's at the Westgate. I might have to add that.
Yeah, I like the Patriot Tampa game as well, and also what was the other one? Oh, Ravens Vikings. I think both guys are reliable in a high-scoring game from 33 plus. So now we're week 10 already. It's interesting to look at some of the future numbers. Who will be the 1 seed in the AFC? Buffalo, plus 160. Colts, plus 330. New England and Denver, plus 450. Chiefs are way out, 16-1.
I brought this up now for like a month straight. There's a great path for the Patriots to grab the 1 seed.
The Bills have some tough games coming up.
Yeah, they do.
They play the Eagles. They play Tampa.
Yeah.
They have to go to New England.
But the Patriots, if they could somehow win this game, and I say somehow, they're a 2.5-point dog, but you get my point because Tampa Bay is really good as well. If they were to win this game, fast forward to next Thursday, they're a 10.5-point favorite to the Jets. They play at the Bengals, my God. Then they get the Giants at home. They haven't had the bye yet. Then it closes Bills at Ravens, at Jets, Dolphins. They have like two.
Wow.
This team could somehow be looking at 13, 14 wins at the end of the year.
It's true. That is NFC. Rams plus 320. Eagles plus 350. Seattle and Tampa 5-1. Green Bay 7-1 to get the 1 seed. Fewest wins. Tennessee's even money. Saints are 3-1. Jets are plus 450. Raiders are 10-1.
10-1. How many more wins do they have?
I think just one. And I don't even know if they beat Cleveland out here either.
I don't know if they do that either. I really don't.
Yep. Most wins. Bills 3-1. Rams plus 650. Seattle, Patriots, Denver in the 7 to 8-1 range. Colts plus 850. Tampa and Philly still have some tough games coming up, so they're down Divisions, Denver's plus 105, Kansas City plus 145, Chargers plus 450. Green Bay's plus 105, Detroit's plus 125, Bears are 11-1. Rams plus 125, Seattle plus 150, Niners plus 360. And the Bills are minus 170, and the Colts are minus $3. All division winners.
Okay.
To make the playoffs, Pittsburgh minus 120.
AFC is
they're going to do it if they win Sunday. I mean,
they have
there's
a lot
too many.
of bad teams in the AFC.
That's right. Yep. Chargers are minus 220. They got to win Sunday.
Can we pop up the Packer schedule here, if you guys don't mind, in the back? Because I want to throw this at you, Pauly. They are plus 365 to miss the playoffs.
Oh, that's it?
I think they lose Monday night. I think,
Wow.
call me crazy here. I think they can lose at the Giants the following week.
That's
Hello,
aggressive.
your survivor entry 2 years ago. They get the Vikings at home. They're at the Lions.
Bears.
They have the Bears twice. They're at the Broncos. They get the Ravens at the Vikings again. And the NFC is absolutely stacked. Now, like you said on Monday, freeze it with the NFC playoff picture because this 7-team field would be incredible.
Yeah.
But even if you replaced Green Bay and put in a team like Chicago potentially, I still think the playoffs would be amazing. I'm just telling you, I don't think they're a well-coached team. I think Jordan Love is way too pass happy, off the wrong foot, taking shots deep down the field in the triple coverage. They rarely come out of the gates ready to go. The Browns game, they never could put that bad team away.
Yeah.
They look like crap off the bye against the Bengals, losing as 13-point favorites.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos of the NFC.
I'm just going to tell you, I haven't bet it, but I'm not going to be shocked at all if Green Bay misses the playoffs.
Okay. Jacksonville minus 140. Tells you how easy the schedule is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bears plus 220. Carolina's 2-1. You get to 6 wins already if you beat the Saints. Baltimore minus 160. And this is too high. The 49ers minus 450. There are some, as we talked about, there are some easy games coming up, but that's a big price. And it's Mac Jones. Purdy could be active as the backup. Trying to get some good news there for him. Did you see that kid from Florida?
7'9".
Could you believe biggest player in college basketball history?
He was standing next to a 6'8" dude, and the 6'8" dude's going like this.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, bro, how you feeling up there?
He's 2 inches taller than Manute Bol. He's 3 inches taller than Yao Ming and Taco Fall.
I got to be honest.
I can't believe it.
He looked like he was put together, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't tiny. He wasn't frail. Looked like he could actually maybe move a little bit out. 7'9".
Crowd was going nuts. Put him in. Put him in. Think you know sports? It's time to get paid for it. Better Picks, the daily fantasy app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download the Better app, pick more or less, and if your pick hits, you win. And when you do deposit, you get a 50% deposit match up to $200. Better.app, BETR. Download Better in the app or Google Play Store. Promo code VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in, watching today's program on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM, channel 158. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. More games now, Week 10, National Football League. So James Cook, a little gimpy this week in practice, right? Ankle, doesn't look good. Who's going to be the backup? Time to hop on Ray Davis props. Maybe somebody else who's like the third stringer, like a Ty Johnson. And then in the last day plus, James Cook has made it a point, I think, to go on multiple shows and outlets. And he said, I'm good to go, man. I'm fine. I'm going to be all right. He had 108 yards on, I think it was 19 carries against Miami in Week 3 in a Buffalo win, 31-21. That was on a Thursday night game. But the Miami defense is one of the worst against the ground game. Total fluke a couple of weeks ago what happened against Atlanta and Bijan Robinson. And now, so James Cook is 83.5. But if he's telling the truth and he's good to go and the ankle's not going to be a problem, 100+ on him against Miami seems absolutely feasible, Pauly. And that's around plus 165 in the neighborhood. And if you want to get completely crazy, I doubt that they would risk like giving him 25 carries if the game turns into like a 3-possession game. But James Cook 150 plus is almost 9-1. He might break off an 80-yarder in this game. I don't know. He's
the second shot at DraftKings to have the most rushing yards on Sunday, plus 550. And you'd have been drug tested if you said, yeah, sure. Week 10, Dowdle's the favorite. And he's 4-1 to get it done. And how great he's been. The numbers here with Buffalo and Allen, total ownage against Miami. When Allen's the starter, they're averaging 32.5 points per game against Miami. They've won 7 in a row against them, 14 of 15, and 16 of the last 18, what they've done.
Wow.
The one concern, I guess, would be they've had some stinkers going through the motions against some of these bad teams, right?
Yeah.
You got a big game on deck next week. You're coming off the huge win. Do you overlook them?
They were awesome against the Chiefs overall.
That's right. Yep. They also are great DVOA against running backs, catching the ball out of the backfield. They shut down Achane. He only had 29 yards in the first meeting. The only thing I could look at from a prop standpoint, and I did play Waddle over, 68.5 receiving yards, but with Tua turning the ball over and just how bad this defense is, and Baltimore had no... It's almost like, number one, there's going to be a lot of Bills fans there. Number two, they're just showing up to boo them. And you saw the scene, that Thursday night game with the paper bags were out.
Oh, sure.
They couldn't wait to boo as they've had enough, and it's probably going to be worse, the decision to bring McDaniel back.
Oh, that fan base will take over that stadium.
Yeah, at least the announcement that he's going to last the season, which I can't believe. But it is a lot of points. But again, they're just going to run wild on him here in this game, and it should get zero resistance from the Miami defense.
All right, Browns are playing at the Jets. So this is from Steve Mackinnon at VSiN.com. One of his angles for teams off a bye. Play on road favorites coming out of their bye. You're 117-47 straight up, and 32 games over 500 in a big sample size since 1999, 60%. That'd be Cleveland in this game, but I will point out, Pauly, much like Carolina, you never want that team, like last 4 years, as a favorite. Cleveland is 20-32 ATS, 38.5% as a favorite since 2017. They are not good in this role. And again, the favorite is flipped here since the Jets traded guys at the deadline. I think maybe a little bit out of control now. And when Stefanski has played teams with a losing record since the pandemic season, 17-9 to the under here.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Teasers have not gone my way last couple of weeks. With a total this low, Jets plus 8.5. Are the Browns going to score?
Well, can they get over 17?
I don't know. I was going to say, are they going to score 20? Seems unlikely.
Yep. 21's a magic number with Fields, but he finally did it against the Bengals. The Jets are the only team without an interception.
Still.
1-8 run off the bye. Reese taking over play calling duties, as we mentioned. But again, you're backing a team on the road here. Can't win a damn game on the road, and the 12-game losing streak. Also scares me the home road splits with the defense. But then again, also the long run where you just 12 of the last 13 games you've been held to 17 points or fewer.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And guess what? Guess who they went off against? Of course, Miami. Right. The Miami game at home. But that's it. Other than that, it's can't do anything offensively. And I know Mike Somich didn't get to it, but he wanted to make the case for Judkins rushing yards over, and I agree with that too. I mean, this is a horrible defense, and now you just take 3 guys off it.
Right.
You trade 2 of your stars, or better players, I'll just say it that way, and then the other guy was benched for underperforming. So
I don't hate it.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's points, though, based on the history and based on bad Cleveland defense on the road, bad Jets defense, key guys out, and I think the Jets are on 11-4 overrun as well.
Yeah. So we've talked about Carolina and the Saints a couple times so far today. To expand on this, you go all the way back to 2019. There has been no real home field advantage here for the Panthers. They are 21-30 ATS since that year, and as a favorite since 2016, 16-33 against the spread. But Adam Burke has a great breakdown with his first touchdown props in this game at VSiN.com. I'll give you a little bit of it here between these two teams. He's taken a couple of shots with Panthers players. The Saints have allowed 20 first-half touchdowns on the year. The Panthers have allowed 12, but as he points out, here's the thing. All 12 have come in the second quarter. Carolina has not allowed a first quarter touchdown all season, and the Saints are, what are they, ATS in the first quarter?
1-8 ATS.
Here we go.
And they've been outscored 75-16 on the year.
Yep. So they do only have 2 first quarter touchdowns on offense and only 6 first half touchdowns overall. But this is the bad Saints team that we're talking about. Shredded overall in the first half, as Pauly just told you. They've allowed 7 passing touchdowns in the first quarter and 8 in the second quarter. So as he wrote again at the website, he's taking Leggett, and he took Sanders, the tight end, as well. I tailed him here, and I also bet Leggett anytime touchdown. But Leggett and Ted McMillan both have red zone targets. McMillan has a far higher target share overall, but he writes that it's clear that Leggett's still viewed as a red zone option. And then you had this today.
Yeah.
McMillan is now questionable.
That's right. Canales said that too. Right. Carolina, Jacksonville, and the Bears winning records, but negative point differential. And Carolina, until last week, was just, beating some bad teams. And then the incredible stuff from Evan Abrams about this run. They've lost 10 in a row as favorites. So, but again, it's just pound the ball to Dowdle. That should be it.
Might as well.
Last 6 games averaging 130 yards. 4 games with 125 plus. As I said earlier, the short shot to have the most rushing yards, the favorite at 4-1. Incredible. So still, just Bryce Young, don't turn it over. You'll probably have a couple takeaways. Saints struggling on offense anyways. Rookie quarterback in a bad spot last week, blown out, and now Shaheed is traded as well. I would look at Olave props, as he's number 2 in targets on the year. But Carolina getting it done against the bad teams, 5-0 ATS against teams with a losing record.
My God, what is Carolina catching in the first round of the playoffs if they have to go and play on the road?
Yeah.
Let's say it's Carolina at Detroit. That's not going to go well. I can't imagine an opponent in the NFC playoffs where it would go well for them. Can you? Niners?
No.
But here's the thing.
Well, they play the Niners coming up.
On a Monday night, they get them coming up.
Right.
They also have the Rams still. They're hosting the Rams, I believe, in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So opt to AI stats at VSiN.com. They actually have Dowdle going way under his rushing yards prop.
I'm surprised by that. They have Jonathan Taylor under again. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's
surprised by that.
The correlated numbers here are Dowdle under, and they have Chuba Hubbard going over.
Yeah.
With his rushing yards prop.
Yeah. I don't agree with that. And of course, they're on JSN over again. And it's every week they deliver. And it's not just, hey, he's going to have a good game. He's going to have a big game. And he's in the 120 range again.
And they're projecting basically 114, 118 in that range every single week.
Now, the ship has sailed on the value with laddering it. Because in the past, it was 4-1 to get that or higher if he would have a $120 or something.
Right.
But still, they're saying he's going to have a $120 again. Is it the Saints guy, Valley?
Yeah.
That guy might do some damage. I was reading some stuff that maybe he could get some targets and they could throw to him.
All right.
With the trade and maybe what they're doing from an offensive standpoint. I mean, it got to be somebody now. I don't know. You could be getting blown out too, and here's some garbage yards.
What happens? I mean, can you imagine how tight people are going to be? Because a lot of people are going to be on Carolina and Survivor. And if the Saints reverse everything that we just talked about and jump on them 10-0 in the first quarter, you can hear people from the other coast screaming, "Why did I take this team?" Yeah.
Were you surprised by the big 3 that were available? I was. Denver, Bills, Seattle. Still 30% we're talking about.
Yeah.
So good job to the people that saved them and still have them. Best time of the year to be a sports bettor right now. No better time to join VSiN Pro with the Sports Equinox Special. Everything we do through May 1st for only $120, less than $20 a month. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The AI-driven prop projections and full coverage of every sport through May 1st, less than $20 a month. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Up next, you're going to get best bets in soccer as our buddy Nigel Seeley joins the program.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Read them every week, VSiN.com. All tickets cash the same. to our buddy Nigel Seeley to talk Premier League and soccer. And the big one is Sunday with Man City against Liverpool. And Nigel starts off with a prop. Take it away, Nigel.
Hello everyone, it's Nigel Seeley here, and it's a big weekend of Premier League action, and there's a few bets that I like across England's top flight. Let's start with the big match of the weekend. It's on Sunday. It's at the Etihad, where Manchester City are minus money favourites to beat the champions Liverpool. I think it's fair to say whoever loses this match is out of the title race. Liverpool start the biggest price they have been for 2 seasons in a match, bigger than $2, and Man City are the heavy favourites. What do I expect? I think both sides are going to go for it. Liverpool haven't had a draw yet this season in the English Premier League, and Manchester City have only had 1 draw, and a draw is not a good result. I expect both teams to go for goals, and I expect goals to be on the menu. Over 2.5 goals is a heavy favourite. Minus 3.5 goals is the line. But I think if you're looking at goals and you're looking at Manchester City matches, we can't look any further than Erling Haaland. He is on fire. His goal scoring stats this season are phenomenal. He has scored 27 goals across 17 matches in all competitions. He's scored in 15 of 17 matches this season, and he's minus 132 to score any time. If you like that kind of price, Haaland is your man. But for me, the better value is Haaland to score 2 or more goals. Liverpool have defensive frailties. The bottom 3 teams in the Premier League, Liverpool have conceded more or the same amount of number as the bottom 3 teams. That's this season away from home. That is where Liverpool's problem is, conceding goals. Haaland has scored 2 or more in 8 of 17 matches this season, and he's plus 310 to continue that trend. That's the bet for me. Erling Haaland's 2 or more goals against Liverpool. Next up is the title leaders and the favourites, Arsenal. They travel to Sunderland, the surprise package of the Premier League. Sunderland are in 4th place in the Premier League. Arsenal are top of the table, and Arsenal just do not concede goals. They haven't conceded a goal all of October. The last time they conceded in the Premier League, I think, was in September. They absolutely tremendous defensive unit they have. They played 4 matches in the Champions League, haven't conceded. They've won 14 matches in all competitions this season, and 13 of those matches they have won to 0. So they've won and haven't conceded. I think they will beat Sunderland. Sunderland have done brilliantly at home this campaign, but they haven't played anybody in the top 10. This is their first real test. I know they went to Chelsea and they won on the road, but at home they played nobody in the top half of the table. They're up against an Arsenal side who are looking so strong, so good. I can't see Arsenal conceding. They're minus $3 to win this match, but you can bet them at evens to win to 0. So an Arsenal win and not to concede, even money at Sunderland. That would have cashed in 13 of Arsenal's 14 wins this season. Next match I like is Nottingham Forest home to Leeds. I think Forest have got a great chance in this match. Their new manager, Sean Dyche, has tried to work out their defence. He needs to work on it. He's kept 2 clean sheets in the 4 matches in charge, including in midweek against Sturm Graz in the Europa League. He also beat Porto in the Europa League in a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win. And they're up against a Leeds side who are one of the lowest scorers in the division. If you look at Leeds on the road this season, they played 5 matches. They've lost 4 on the road and won 1. The only match they won was at the bottom club, Wolves. All the other 4 matches, they went and they did not score. And a bet I like here is Nottingham Forest to win to 0 again. So Nottingham Forest on the money line would be my bet, but add a bit of boosty bonus into that. Plus 235, Nottingham Forest to win to 0. That's a great bet. I like that. Nottingham Forest to win to 0 against Leeds. And finally, this is a tricky one, but I'm going to go for Newcastle to win at Brentford. Brentford have a very good home record this season in the Premier League. Newcastle not so good in the Premier League on the road. They're failing to not many scoring many goals and not winning many matches at all. But I watched Brentford firsthand last week against Crystal Palace. I thought they were really, really poor, and I think that Newcastle will win this match. So Newcastle to win on the road at Brentford to end what has been a really bad run for them on their road matches. And Brentford, I think, are a side that are going to struggle on what I saw last week against Crystal Palace. So there is a 4 bets for you there in the Premier League. I'll give you a recap. Man City against Liverpool. Erling Haaland, 2 or more goals. Massive price. Plus 320, I think there's crazy price. 310. Best bet. Arsenal to win to 0 against Sunderland, even money. Cashes every time they play. 14 wins, 13 to win 0. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest to win to 0 against a very poor Leeds side, plus 235, I believe that is. And finally, I'm going to go for Newcastle to win at Brentford. Brentford really poor last week. Newcastle can only get better. I think they're plus 114. They're my best 4 bets. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Well done, Nigel.
Okay, that's incredible about Arsenal.
Yes. No wonder why you can't believe the price. It happens in almost every match.
13 out of 14 wins have been to 0.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It really pays off to lock and load in every sport imaginable like that. You know what I'm saying?
Tweet at us as always. Instagram. Email, ftm@vsin.com. This is from Eric. Chelsea plays the Wolves. And the Wolves have been dreadful. Bottom team at the table, only 2 points. Chelsea the other day played Qarabag.
We'll go with it.
Okay. Baku is 4 hours ahead of London. Baku is 2,400 miles from London. In comparison, LAX to JFK is 2,400 miles. That's what kind of trip they made. Should have tire legs. Wolves will be fresh, making the case for the under, or you just score early and shut it down. Wolves have been outscored 8-1 on the road. Chelsea's only allowed 6 goals at home, 3 to Brighton, 2 to Sunderland.
Oh, okay.
Can't see, he's making the case for under 3 or Chelsea to win to 0 at plus 130. What an incredible turnaround that is. With that travel to go to Qarabag, and then you're coming back, and now you're at home, and
so they played
2,400 miles. Yeah,
they played at Qarabag on Wednesday,
right?
And they're playing already again tomorrow with that much travel involved.
Yes.
But that is a lightning fast turnaround when you're talking about that many miles, man.
I like the tired legs angle. That's pretty good.
And they've only...
Good find.
So, of the 6 goals they've allowed at home, Chelsea, 5 of those came in 2 matches.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And you're taking on the worst team, so maybe 1-0 final, under 3. Whoever you want to play it, but that's a good angle with the travel.
You ever been to Baku?
No. Haven't made it there. It's on the list.
Wow,
at some point, yeah.
The only appropriate answer there is twice last year.
Yes. What do you think? This was off air yesterday, but I am, because Tim Murray thinks that Memphis isn't good. I'm shocked at this number tonight. We got 3 good college football games.
Burke likes them.
Who?
Memphis.
Okay, so do I. Tulane's not good. It's 6-2 against 8-1. Memphis at home only laying 3.5. You also have USC laying 14 against Northwestern. Riley's complaining about start time again. And Houston takes on UCF. Houston lost last week. Memphis has it all right in front of them. Went out, they're going to the playoff. After getting blasted by Ole Miss 45-10, they had a home performance against a bad Tulsa team 31-14, and then Tulane at home beat East Carolina by 7, and then had to hang on to beat Army by 7, and then got blasted. How does that look now? After what South Florida did to UTSA last night.
Right.
They went to UTSA and lost 48-26. Now they're on the road again, and Memphis is only 3.5 at home. Murray's case was, Memphis isn't that good. Memphis coming off the big win 2 weeks ago where they beat South Florida, very good team, 34-31, and put it on Rice last week. They did the embarrassing loss to UAB, the win against Arkansas. They were down big, came back to win. Doesn't look so good. Not that much on the schedule, though.
Right.
But to me, at home, 3.5. I'm with Burke on that one. I'm surprised how low this is on a Tulane team that is underachieved and underperformed.
Honestly, Pauly, I'll go back to what I asked you yesterday. Doesn't it seem a little fishy? Down the stretch in Major League Baseball, every day on this show, we would say, why is this team $1.20? And I'm telling you, they lost 80% of the time, if not more.
Yeah.
The fishy numbers lost every single day in baseball. This, to me, scares me to the point of where I don't even want to bet it. How does 3.5 make it make sense to us?
Weird stuff happens Friday night, too.
Well,
I know that we started with back-to-back defensive touchdowns, but UTSA doesn't belong on the same field as South Florida.
No.
And UTSA runs Tulane out. Now you're taking on a good Memphis team. Think sports start getting paid for it with better picks the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into cash. Sign up today, get free money and no deposit needed. And when you do deposit, you get a 50% deposit match up to $200. Download Better in the App or Google Play Store. Head to better.app. Promo code VSiN for your free money deposit bonus. BETR, better.app.
Marquee Games NFL up next. This coach has a bad track record in the month of November, and his quarterback has been even worse against good teams. Not a great recipe for Sunday's opponent. Find out who it is next.